everyone, and thanks for checking out another video. Today we're in Cicero, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago, which you can see off in the distance. We're going to take a quick look around the BNSF yard here. I shot this while driving to Green Bay to record some interviews and get some footage of the Union Pacific Big Boy steam locomotive at the National Railroad Museum for a future video. I had some time to spare on my drive up, so I stopped by a few yards in the Chicagoland area. Originally called Clyde Yard, this was built by the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad. This was to serve as its primary Chicago area yard for the CB&Q. Now, it was previously a hump yard designed for mixed freight, but has since made the switch to mainly intermodal traffic. Through mergers, this came to be under the Burlington Northern, and ultimately its current owner, BNSF. Now, I will say, these Chicagoland intermodal yards are busy, non-stop, as cargo comes from each coast to make its way inland to the railroad capital of the United States. Notice all those trailer chassis waiting to be loaded for the next train to arrive. Also, how great is this Chicago skyline as a backdrop? We have 6 load tracks on the south side of the yard and a few more on the northern section. It looks like all the gantry cranes here have rubber tires and are able to move around where they're needed pretty easily. This center section looks like the staging area for inbound or outbound trains until they're ready to move or ready to be unloaded. The round table you see in the section to the right is new. BNSF donated the facility's original 135-foot turntable to the railroading heritage of Midwest America 150 miles away in Silvis, Illinois. A 15-ton crane from the locomotive repair shop was also given a second life in its new location at the Illinois Railway Museum, where it will continue to help repair locomotives. I think that's pretty cool that BNSF donated those items to keep them around. I'll include a link to a bit more about the turntable being donated. Well, let's watch a container being loaded. I'm always so impressed by the workers in these cranes. They just make it look so easy.
Let him tie it down, Mario, and then I need you to set some cars over for me. So just spot it there so they can work it. All right.
Man, I like that side job, Valley.
304. Go behind 6. That's it.
Running contest, Carmen. Over.
To make the move from 3 departure over to 2 departure.
Yeah, okay, let's make the move 5-4. Right.
Valley need about 10 cars, 104 spot.
10 cars.
I'll give you right up to that.
Do you want me to say handbrake in the second unit? Dan, I'll grab it. Appreciate it.
Roger.
Valley.
10 cars. That's fast, Carmen. Go ahead and hit your button.
Valley.
That line.
Perfect spot, Valley. You man like to go in between. Put these handbrakes on.
All right, Valley, set center for you, man. See anything, Carmen? You just want to have the crew armored in the yard over? Once again, we did have a good test marker all night, so it should be fine. Over.
East End, Chicago, South Seattle, over. Yeah, you guys still have those bells and whistles going off, or just finding a better place to stop? All right, copy that.
Tied on doing that 2 departure 5-4.
BNSF recently completed an expansion project at the facility. You can tell the new parts by looking at the asphalt and some of the ballast. The project was designed to increase the annual lift capacity by 175,000 containers. This yard primarily links Chicago with the Pacific Northwest. I'll include a link from BNSF, which goes into more detail about the project and everything added. These tracks also see the commuter rail service Metro come through. There we see one with a non-powered cab car at the front, while locomotive number 192, an EMD F40 PHM-2, is pushing from behind.
Yard 6, you got 4 leads. You got 4 leads.
Hey, what's the car number? That had car here.
47 road, you got that paperwork. There's no 503 clears up, we'll work it out.
608. That's a good one.
You want the middle of the whole yard?
Valley. Are you guys cutting away from each car?
Here we see 4 locomotives getting ready to depart for their next destination.
Get it later next time.
Are you done with them, Keith? Won't help this Denver.
Seagull side?
Yes, please.
That's correct, over.
Run through 2 departures. About to clear off.
As you mentioned, attached.
There it is, thanks.
Before he goes over there for
This yard was pretty accessible with my drone. I just parked on the street and put it up in the air. Now, I did need to get an FAA waiver to fly here, though, because it's so close to Midway Airport. Now, the yard is just under 2 miles in length.
You're right. Cap to north, K5.
North, okay, bye, Cap.
Hey, Mario, run through 3 receiving and pound of 4 receiving.
All right, runner 3, pound of 4. You man, yard master, you want me to open up the east end on this 10 receiving or leave it closed?
I do love the Chicago skyline and the Sears Tower. And yes, I know it's the Willis Tower, but it'll always be the Sears Tower to me, so that's what I'm going to call it. And the John Hancock Center to the left, well, that's pretty neat too.
They spot us here, the car department is going to work.
Roger that.
Requesting a block on the west end of 1010, sir.
That tower comes off okay. Block for you. K-off, Valley Job.
And there's the eastern entrance to the yard. From there, trains can interchange with Norfolk Southern and CSX to continue on east. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this brief look around the yard. I don't find these intermodal facilities nearly as interesting as a traditional manifest yard, but they're still pretty cool to see how everything is laid out and works together to get these containers and trailers in and out as quickly as they can. I've got a few more yard videos from the area, so I hope you'll check those out when they're finished. Until our next trip, I hope you have a great day.
Alright. Valley, point found the west end of 1010.
Engineer acknowledged.
Negative still shows out of correspondence. Do you need me to throw back and forth?
Yeah, don't shut it down then, because it'll be within the 2-hour window.
Transfer.
Take it ahead.
Alright, clear ahead. Hey, how you guys looking? Alright, roger that.
I need to go back probably 15 cars, at least. And then we'll have to take that cut over to 635. Back to 15, my throw. I gotta get my whistle called off of it. I put it on it. Thanks, G. No, I still gotta get my whistle called off.
No, don't trouble at all. No trouble at all.
Reporting clear on authority number 5024 at 1533, 1533. Is that correct?
Side, main 4, down to the office. Looking for a recrew. Over. Your cars are there, right? Back your vehicle. Hawthorne, right?
Next, Tony, the pole 27. Go a little bit more if you go. Oh, yeah, we got plenty of room. Want to do 10 more? 10 more. I'll leave.
BNSF 7239 in the lead. 0 RS in tons, nothing high, nothing wide. DOB 3870, 116 cargo.
Go west receiving. Signal invitation.
Mayor Denver, still good for 10 more? Still good for 10.
I just called for a block and the engine is off.
Denver, you man to 10.
Block for you. 10 receiving. Carmen Mario, over.
All red.
Air conductor, standards, you man attachment. For 10, take what you need.
All right.
Good for 10.
Only for over.
West end of 3 lead, DJ.
Well, it should be coming in okay out, count the change.
Alright.
Alright, we got it, Mario.
You got the right stuff.
Roger, I'll stop.
Just need to come up and find your cut, then we'll come out with that cut, put it over to 635.
Roger, I'll be up shortly.
10 more, 154.